Well, welcome everybody. Well, hello. I'm Stephen the Jupiterian with a new video for you. This time we're going to talk about whenever we're going to pull up the current clock the current time clock in the sky yay, we have Sagittarius rising. And that's what we're going to start with. Sagittarius rising. Well, the sun is in Cancer in the eighth house of other people's money, inheritance, uh, your spouse's money, your spousal money. um, so yeah, that's with Mercury retrograde at 23 degrees, the sun at 16 degrees, conjunct the dog star Sirius. But we have a Sagittarius rising, which is ruled by Jupiter. Jupiter is your ruling planet. So wherever Jupiter is doing, Jupiter is in your ninth house at 1 degree, almost 2 degrees of Leo in your ninth house, Sagittarius. And Venus is at the last degree of Leo as well. 29 degrees, 13 minutes. And tomorrow, Venus will enter Virgo in your 10th house. The moon is in Taurus, conjunct Chiron. So this is interesting. Very good news for you. The moon conjunct Chiron, emotional healing. And actually, that could be like healing with food, because Taurus is a very ruled by Venus, which is a Taurus is a very earthy and down to earth sign. They are very, they like everything that's tactile. And most likely things that are planted in the ground, like potatoes, carrots, are a ground vegetable, are ground grown under the ground vegetables. Mm. And the North Node is at 0 degrees of Pisces. And yes, let's move this next week. By next week, the nodes are still in Pisces and Virgo. So let's move this into hours next. What else is there going to be? Um, Although Jupiter is making a square to the moon, or moon makes is making a square to Jupiter. And yeah, so your feelings, emotions are conflicting with your expansion, how you see the world in wiz and the in the wise planet of Jupiter, also squaring Chiron. So there's this interesting bond between Jupiter, and the moon in Chiron. Mm. It's also making a sextile to Uranus. Whoop. So, all right, now I'm back. Okay, sorry about that, everybody. That was a very important call I needed to take. So we're gonna move on to Capricorn rising. Capricorn, well, you're ruled by Saturn, and Saturn is at 14 degrees of Aries. Alrighty, Capricorn rising. Well, as I said, your Saturn is in Aries in your fourth house, Capricorn. So focus on home, family, and all kinds of things that are in your fourth house. Foundation. Make sure that you have stable foundation. Well, now that Neptune is in your fourth house as well, make sure that there's no illusions or delusions. Could be spiritual though. Could bring spirituality into your home. So Neptune isn't always negative. Look at to the positive things that Neptune brings. I'm sorry, excuse me. Um, so for you, Capricorn rising, the Sun and Mercury are in your seventh house. Mercury is retrograde in your seventh house, so it could be bringing back um, people, old contacts, old um, market, the people from the marketplace, um, your uh, significant other or an ex lover could come back, come back to into your life at the moment at this time. Things from people from the past could be actually also enemies, um, open enemies coming back. Well, you have Jupiter and Venus in your co-present in your eighth house. of chunky money and other people's money. Um, as Lori Lothian would say, chunky money. um, debt, taxes, death as well. But yeah, this is bringing some luck here. Jupiter brings luck to this house, which is a good thing. And then tomorrow, Venus will enter Virgo. And Venus will enter your ninth house, which will be nice. Actually, it'll bring some stability to the ninth house and some detail. Um, having a nice, organized mm, place. Yeah. Well, you may be feeling wanting to travel distance, distant lands or someplace. Um, hmm. Although Jupiter is making a square to Chiron and the moon in your fifth house to the ninth house. So that's not terrible. That the things that you'll be feeling with your um, children or creative projects, maybe healing a wound from a create something doing by being more creative, feeling that creativity, not overwhelmingly, but the moon in Taurus. Well, the moon in Taurus is exalted. Yep, we have an exalted moon here. So you're feeling really great about creativity and your children, closer, maybe emotionally closer to your children. All right, let's move on. Aquarius arising. Aquarius, you're ruled by Saturn. And that's in your third house of siblings, writing, communicating, teaching, learning. We have Neptune retrograde right now. So you may be teaching, learning something in the spiritual realm, or possibly um, redoing something for, or finding out that you're writing something that's very or esoteric, spiritual. Um, could be something that was uh, foggy. That that you're learning something that maybe that was with your siblings. Community. Well, your community. Well, your is the 11th house. So that's like community groups, social groups. But this is like your neighborhood community. Let's see. Pluto is wreaking havoc through your first house still. And it will be for the next 14 years. I think, yep, that Pluto will be in Aquarius. And it's opposing Venus. Jupiter, sorry, Jupiter is opposing Pluto. And this is making a square. The sun is square Saturn. Mm. So work routines and things are being squared by your third house. Mm. All right, let's move on to Pisces. Whoops. Pisces rising. So Pisces, your ruling planet is Jupiter. And Jupiter is in your sixth house of work routine and pets, illness. Taking care of your body. Well, actually, Jupiter is bringing some uh, wisdom, abundance, and yeah. So, excuse me. I'm sorry. Okay, Pisces rising, Jupiter, sixth house with Venus. Well, Venus will be moving into your seventh house tomorrow. Yeah, or very soon. The 9th of July. I'm sorry, we are in July. So yeah, um, and the moon is making a square to Jupiter, and so is Chiron making a square to Jupiter in your from your third to sixth house. So those aren't. This isn't a terrible thing. Could probably be something going on between siblings and work or coworkers and your neighborhood neighbors. Um, Pisces rising, yeah. Let's see. You have Pluto going through your 12th house. That's not terrible, actually. Probably hidden enemies and hospitals. Pluto is battling through that. So opposed Jupiter. Not bad. So I'm sorry. Jeez. Mm. So the moon is making a square to Pluto, but the moon is exalted. in Taurus. Not bad, not a terrible thing. There's actually the moon in Taurus likes material things. Um, anything in Libra? No, nothing in Libra. Although Venus rules your eighth house and your third house. Interesting, huh? And Venus is just about to enter your seventh. So that'll make a really good trine, start to make a trine to Chiron and the moon. Bring some more healing energy into this part, into your life, yeah, into your relationships and maybe spouse, one-to-one dealings with or negotiating with clients or your clientele or the market or marketplace where you um, if you're sales in sales or marketing, great time to do that. That we're bringing value to the marketplace or yeah, with your client's spouse. All right, Aries. Well, let's see. Let me go to Aries rising. I'm gonna go backwards because I want it to be the eighth, and we started at Sagittarius. Okay, so here we are. Aries rising. Well, we got a lot going on for you, Aries rising. Neptune, Saturn, and well, the moon will be in Taurus. Mm, actually, you know what? Why not? I'll go into the ninth. I could well put the moon in Taurus. So the moon is in your second house. Aries, you're ruled by Mars. Mars is in Gemini in your third house of siblings. Well, with Uranus here as well. This is Urania, asteroid or Urania. I just threw that in just because this is the asteroid series right next to Mars. And we have Uranus. Actually, we can get rid of the part of fortune. We really don't need that. Or the um yeah, they'll leave all the others. Okay. Cool. So we have Aries rising. Mars in Gemini, the third house. So there's a lot of energy going on with your neighborhood, neighbors, siblings. Mm, probably feeling very emotional towards money with the moon in your second house. Although it's a good thing with the moon in the second house. Just don't spend too much money if you're really in an emotional state. Um, Although it's a really good time for uh, to get your financial strength up and abundance here. There's some healing going on. The moon is exalted here. The moon is happy. Yeah, the moon is not in his joy, but um, yeah. Like for Pisces rising, but yeah, um, but yeah, it's not bad. Very good for money, finances, getting them in order. If you have a financial wound, it's a good time to rectify that or alleviate that. Although try not to overspend on if you're feeling don't be the don't well, try not to spend money on items that you don't need because how you like the what do they call those shopaholics or um shopping like yeah, emotionally emotional shopper. Yeah, try not to do that. Taurus rising. Well, you're ruled by Venus, and Venus is in Leo. It'll be in Virgo on the 9th. Later on in the day, later today, July 9th. Yeah, July 9th, Venus enters Virgo, your ruling sign, which is not bad. It'll be in a fellow Earth sign, but right now it's in your fourth house. So, um, at 29 degrees. Hmm. When Venus enters Virgo, it'll be conjunct the South Node on the night, or very like like 8, 9, or 10 hours from now, from what I have here, 1:18 a.m. July 9th. Yeah. So Venus enters Virgo on July 9th, later in the day, and it'll make a trine to Chiron, as I said. Yeah, which will be very good. Actually, there's the first and the fifth, and then there's nothing in Capricorn. Well, that's the MC, but that's not everybody has the MC in Capricorn. If you do, that's really good. But you could have the MC anywhere in Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces. Sometimes you can have it in your 12th house, 11th, 10th, 9th, 8th, even 7th house. Sometimes, depending on where you were born. Further north, northern hemisphere, your midheaven will be in any one of these houses. In whole sign, using whole sign house system only. Hmm. What else do I want to focus on here? Well, your 12th house, we have Neptune in your 12th house, Saturn in the 12th house. This is Pallas Athena and Vesta, a devotional flame, and the goddess of wisdom. Um, well, yeah, things may come to you subconsciously, or while you're not even awake. Could be a very interesting dream life. I'm not a Taurus rising, but I have had dreams myself. Vivid dreams lately, which is kind of interesting. Although I'm a Sagittarius rising, and this Aries is my fifth house, so Neptune is retrograde in my fifth house. So interesting. That would make sense. And it's making a trine to my own natal Neptune in Sagittarius. I have natal Neptune in Sagittarius. So, all right, that's enough about that. So yeah, this could be bringing out things from the past, um, past life, regressive things, possibly even or yeah, things that are coming to you from out of that seem like they're coming out of nowhere. But yeah. Mm. Okay, Gemini rising. Well, you're ruled by Mercury, Gemini. Oh, we're halfway done. Uranus is in your sign. Mars is in your sign. Um, Ceres and um, Urania. Chiron and the moon are in your 12th house. So healing from things from the past, emotional healing. Could also be some um, Jupiter is bringing some weight here for this square to Chiron and the moon. Hmm. But that's not bad. Actually, it's not terrible. The moon, Chiron squaring Jupiter. Uh, Healing things from the past, maybe um, past wounds from about from Jupiter bringing some positive things to you in your third house of siblings, your neighborhood, neighbors, writing, maybe learning something new. Jupiter always loves to learn something new. Just don't allow past fears to interrupt that if you are interested in learning something new, or yeah, it's a great time to for learning, communicating. Don't be afraid to speak up. Yes. Well, Mercury is in your second house of your voice, so it's retrograde as well. But allow yourself not to be afraid to speak up. Yeah, but I know Uranus and Mars is making you more like giving you lots of energy, and like I want to wear the knives type thing. Where are the daggers? But yeah, actually, that's not terrible because we have this Pluto, Uranus, Mars trine. Mars, Uranus trine to Pluto. Okay, that's not terrible. This is all about you and your beliefs. So maybe something's changing about you and your belief system. Possibly a Gemini rising, yeah. So yeah, let's move on to Cancer. You're ruled by the moon, and the moon is in Taurus, exalted in your 11th house of friends, benefactors, organizations you're affiliated with. Join friends, a friend group, or a group of like-minded individuals. Um, this could be a very healing time for you in your friend zone, and with money. Actually, yeah. So Cancer rising, Jupiter, second house, Chiron, the moon, 11th, making a sextile here. No, a square. Sorry, a square. Squares are good. Sometimes actually could bring some abundant energy and some friction. So with emotions and your will. Um, so I'm sure that friends will be more willing to actually will probably be of healing, um, and groups being being with groups of people who you enjoy being around are like-minded and share your same view on things. So yes, there'll be healing energy, and it'll alleviate some interesting things going on in your money with your money and finances. So yeah, actually, maybe you'll find it, and you may find a job that you will enjoy. When Venus enters your third house, most definitely it'll be with um, people around you, familiar places. Um, so yeah, Venus in the third house of siblings, communication, yeah. Communication with with people in your neighborhood. Um, will value you, or you will value them more. Although you've put value on your money, you've been valuing your finances very well with Venus going through their second house, and it'll be in Virgo very soon, where you can become your values will be more detail oriented and stable rather than fiery and I want it now energy. So, yeah. All right. Moving on to Leo rising. Well, Jupiter is in your sign, Leo, but you're ruled by the sun, and the sun is in your 12th house in the sign of Cancer. and he's getting going to be starting to get Mercury is starting to creep backwards towards the sun, and the sun is going ahead toward Mercury. We're actually almost at a conjunction here. By the weekend, it will be. Uh, the sun and Mercury will be conjunct. Oh, they are conjunct by orb. But yeah, um, they're like four, almost 5 degrees away from each other. That's high enough orb to me, or that's a nice enough orb. But yeah, it's going to be getting closer to Mercury in a few days or a couple days. Um, let's see. Virgo. Oh, I'm sorry. Venus will be entering Virgo. So actually, yeah, when Venus enters Virgo, your money situation will get better. Right now, it's all about you, me, Aries, Jet Leo, me, with Venus and Jupiter in your first house. Venus will enter your money house tomorrow. So financial situations will be getting better or detail oriented and making a trine to Chiron and the moon. Well, oh, by whole sign, but it'll be exact to trine to Chiron, some healing from your career and money fin- financial situation is coming up very close soon. Pluto is and has been in Aquarius since the beginning of the year. So yeah, and it's opposing Jupiter and squaring your Chiron. That's not really bad, although the Pluto is making a square to Chiron. So we had this grand well, not a grand square. It's a yeah, Pluto to Chiron and the moon, and then the moon or the moon to Pluto, moon and Chiron to Pluto, moon to Jupiter are square each other. We have a opposition here. So it's a T square. We have a T square here. So yeah, find the way out of this T square is by looking to your Scorpio house, most likely. So if you're feeling anxious from others and your career, and you're feeling pulled into like individually, oh yeah, this T square is quite strong. Wow. But hey, you work through that and it'll be fine. Working your way through this energy. Once Venus enters Virgo, it'll be, yeah, I think that'll alleviate some of that hectic energy, that fire energy will dissipate. Even though Jupiter's still going to be in Leo. So yeah, bringing that abundance and confident energy to you, feeling positivity is going to be key here for you, Leo rising. Let's move on to Virgo. Virgo rising. Well, Virgo. You're ruled by Mercury. Mercury is retrograde in your 11th house, where where Mercury will be for a while until August. Yeah. So Mercury is going to be in your 11th house until August. So yeah, communication with friends, benefactors, and uh, social groups, people you enjoy being with. Well, communication maybe is a little strained for a little bit. For some of you, Mercury retrograde doesn't have to always be bad. It's in your 11th house of friends. But for Cancer rising, especially Mercury is in his joy, was in his joy, is in his joy for Cancer rising. But Virgo, Jupiter, I'm sorry, Venus, this is planet Venus here at 29 degrees and 59 minutes of Leo, Venus here, just about to cross the threshold into Virgo. Hmm. Venus enters Virgo on the 9th. But yeah, we're almost there. We're on July 9th, but I'm doing recording this on July 8th. So I just want to keep the moon in Taurus because the moon was in Aries in the morning of July 8th, today, July 8th. So we have Jupiter making an opposition to Pluto, and the moon and Chiron are making a square to Pluto, and the moon is making a square to Jupiter. So we have a T square here. So feeling you may be feeling a little tension from your work environment, your uh dharma dharma yeah, the ninth house is all about belief systems, religion. If you're feeling a tension in this area of your ninth house of teaching, broadcasting, feeling some, yeah, healing a wound here. It's good, but it's making a square to Jupiter. So bringing some abundant, well, actually, Jupiter in the 12th could bring some interesting downloads to you, Virgo risings. Jupiter, yeah, Jupiter in the 12th house is spiritual liberation. Um, um, could be abundance of, yeah, remembering things from the past, your past lives, like that are coming up. Uh, could also be Jupiter be bringing a lot of energy to your you bringing a lot of things to you when you're asleep or unconscious, subconscious, from your subconscious, when you're unconscious, like when you're asleep, or when you're dreaming. Actually, when you could be prone to daydreaming. To here with Jupiter in your 12th house, things are coming to you. Mm, although you could be doing a lot of interesting things with your career, your public reputation, with Uranus definitely shaking things up, and Mars shaking things up as well, um, bringing some energy, action oriented energy to your how you think your because you're probably overthinking things and trying to do things intellectually. But Uranus is bringing some flashes of could be flashes of interesting things coming your way, genius, and shaking up your career, your reputation could be shaken. Virgo rising. Hmm. Okay. Libra rising. Hey, finally got it to Venus in Virgo. And yeah, by this time, July 9th, Venus will be in Virgo. But yes, and that's your ruling planet. Venus will be moving from the 11th house to your 12th house. Hmm. So, yeah, she Venus in the 11th house, in the 12th house will probably be bringing up um, things you valued in the past, or reminiscing about things valued that you valued in the past. Are they still values of yours, or do you need to let them go? Because it's actually going to be conjunct the South Node. Do value things you value will be on trial here. And interesting. Hmm. For Libra rising, especially. So actually, when Venus was in your 11th house, it was all about group affiliations, groups you led or are a leader of. Jupiter is still bringing that abundance in your leadership in um, organizations and group settings, and pennies um, uh, from heaven. Yeah, windfall probably too, mm, from career endeavors because you have Mars. and Uranus transiting your ninth house of broadcasting, book publishing. What do you have a shake up here in your belief system? Hmm. Right, you're thinking of what are your beliefs now? And yeah, Venus will in Virgo will definitely be bringing up some things as well. Hmm. Since Venus is your ruling planet, and Venus won't be in Libra for let's see, until August. Yeah, for when in a month. Venus won't be so you'll have Venus in your 12th house for a month. Ooh. And although you're yeah, Venus rules your first house and your eighth house. So, this could be bringing up things from your past. Definitely be bringing up things um, who because it's going to be making a trine to Chiron. So there may be some healing going on, subconsciously or psychologically. Um, hmm, Libra. So yeah, actually, your partner will be more stable for you. Um, we have this T square from Pluto to Chiron and the Moon and Jupiter. This T square, and opposition and two squares is a T square. Hmm. So working through this energy, I mean, actually the Moon will actually Chiron will, with the Moon here will heal things psychologically, maybe researching things too, doing some more research. Um, because the eighth house is also the house of research, the house of debt, chunky money. So, you could actually heal some financial problem or debt that you've been dealing with. Maybe something will come to you. Venus in the 12th, Moon and Chiron in your 8th. Hmm. This T square will bring up some interesting things. Maybe a, how to fix this. Fix financial or debts owed. Yeah. Venus is in Leo anyway. But Venus in Virgo. Yeah. Venus in Virgo. Hmm. That's not terrible. But we have Jupiter opposing Pluto. But actually, I think Venus will bring some help in if you tap into the otherworldly and otherworldly things. Um, but yeah, actually, Pluto is shaking something in your with your creativity, um, which isn't bad, not terrible. That's really good. It's making us trine to Uranus and Mars in your ninth house. Uh, yeah. Oh, beliefs. Yeah, things you believe in, things you change. Yeah, actually, your belief systems are changing here. Um, what you're cutting and severing, what you're letting go of, and shaking things up, which is good. Finding out who you are, not as opposed to others telling you or dictating who you are. You're finding out who you are. Nice, Libra. Next, last, since we started with Sagittarius, we'll be going to Scorpio, our last sign, ruled by Mars. And Mars is in Gemini in your eighth house. No. Oh, shoot. Mars is now in your eighth house. I was in August. Okay. I was going into weeks. I Scorpio, ruled by Mars, in your eighth house of research, shaking up things, cutting, severing debts, um, maybe even um, some issues that you have, cutting things from that. Yeah, maybe issues with coworkers or yourself. Yeah, issues that you're learning to you're cutting and severing something or taking action and uh, money matter situations, financial situations like or debts, taxes, death, and rebirth is eighth house. That's all eighth house themes. Um, so let's see. The moon is in your seventh house and Chiron. So yeah, we have this T square from Jupiter to Chiron and the moon and Pluto. Pluto is opposed to Jupiter, or Jupiter is opposed to Pluto. So you have this T square that's going on here, working through this opposition and this square to Chiron and the moon. And so, yes, there you have it. Scorpio rising. You have this tension here, this T square from others, your career, and home and family. Mm. But yeah, Ashir, is Mars rules your sixth house of coworkers, work, your job, illness, and you. So you're healing things. Could be healing things here too, because the ninth house. Well, the eighth house is also. Um, hmm. Hold on. Yes. So this eighth house is about the occult sciences, studying, researching occult sciences and mysteries, magic, investigating psychic ability, mediumship. Yeah. Mhm. So there's a little shake up here for you Scorpio risings with this realm of your chart, the eighth house. Hmm. And hmm, let's see, we have some sextile going on here with Mars, Uranus, and Neptune, sixth and eighth house. So yeah, some energy from your work house, sixth house, and stability, being more stable in your work with your work co-workers. So yeah. All right. Well, that's all I got for you. I think that's about it. Scorpio rising, Jupiter will still be in your 10th house, opposing Pluto for some time. So yeah, actually, there's push and pull energy um, from career and home. But Venus will be moving. Well, is moving into Virgo on July 9th, and where it is right now, July 9th by 10. Uh, yeah, actually, Venus will be in Virgo July 9th at 10:22 with Virgo rising on the West Coast. Interesting. So 10:22 a.m. So that's all I got for you, everybody, for all the signs. And now, just for fun, yeah, Venus will be in Virgo sign, Jupiter in Leo, the Sun. Well, although actually on July 22nd, the Sun. Actually, oh wait a minute. Let me move this into days. Let's see when the sun actual and Mercury are actually Kazemi. Actually, here. All right. Let's go back in hours. They're at the same degree. Mm, okay. July 12th. Yep. The sun and Mercury Kazemi on July 12th. That's Sunday, July 12th. Interesting. Hmm. Yeah. Sun and Mercury at 20 degrees and 41 minutes. Almost, yeah. Mercury is at 42, but that's close enough. We can go exact and get this exact by minutes, going in minutes, but it's going to be July 12th. This Mercury Kazemi, which is in the heart of this, means within the heart of the sun. Mercury will disappear in the heart of the sun. So bursts of insight, a communication, and a lot of interesting things are going to happen. And it's going to be Sagittarius rising chart on the west coast. Interesting. At 6:22 p.m. Hmm. So, all right, there you go. There you have it. I'm Stephen the Jupiterian. Thanks for watching, listening, and taking a trip around the zodiac for your sun, moon, and uh, rising sign mostly, because they do rising sign astrology and uh, Hellenistic whole sign house system. And so, if you'd like to book a reading with me, you can go to www.it'sinyourstars.com and you can you get a good deal on a hour reading, half hour. I get half-hour readings, both tarot and astrology. Oh, actually, let me pull a tarot card for the energy that we have right now. So, mm, after reading all those, yeah, I still have energy. Whoop. Hey, this one we have the Knight of Wands jumped out of the deck. The Knight of Wands. So, full speed ahead. Yep. That's not bad, actually, even though Mercury is retrograde, we have all this fire energy and air. So, full speed ahead. Take action. Take the action you want to go into. Choose the direction you want to go into wisely and go for it. And then we have the 10 of cups. So things will work out. A lot of water energy, fire, water. So abundance and with families. Um, yeah, there's a family enjoying themselves in this Ten of Cups. So, yeah, enjoy. Have a great time. And all right, I'm Stephen the Jupiterian. Until next time, thanks for watching. Bye, everybody.